Hey there, Helldivers. So I have a third update for you today, and this one comes from a very, very brief conversation I had with Shams Jorjani, CEO of Arrowhead, on the official Discord. Okay, so look, before I get into it, I got to tell you that, yes, on the Discord, I tend to be a little bit more aggressive in my questions, and I get a little frustrated when Shams comes on board, not because of anything that he does, but I just feel like a lot of the other folks on there, I don't want to call him a sycophant, but I just feel like no one really kind of steps up and asks any real questions that would be of interest to a lot of people. It's like, well, when are we going to get, different colored shoelaces, or, are we ever going to get the skull on our forehead? Just stuff that, at least for me, I'm not as interested in. I kind of want some real, anything, however small, some real information about the game itself. So I came out tactfully, politely, and saying, look, I'm trying to represent, many people on my channel that are having a little bit of frustration regarding the lack of content, or even the communication, which I wanted to imply is also the lack of content coming in the game. And the response from Shams, I gotta hand it to him, very kind of interesting, non-CEO typical response, was pretty funny, just not very informative. So, I mean, it sounds like Arrowhead is cooking something relatively seismic, right? It shouldn't just be like, oh, here's, two new Illuminate units, a new mission type, and, maybe one new stratagem. It sounds like it should be something relatively large, but of course, there's absolutely zero sense as to what it could be, when it could be delivered, or anything else. Just like, oh, hey, we got something awesome, something big coming. So, before he left, he posted something like, okay, he's done enough damage, Sony PR is going to come down on him if he reveals anymore. So, look, I've worked at Sony. I worked at PlayStation. I knew some folks over at TPR, third-party relations, and it just doesn't sound representative of my time there. I wouldn't imagine anybody in TPR would give, Arrowhead a major hard time if as long as they didn't post any hard deadlines that are going to be, likely to miss, or kind of not running anything by their marketing or PR team, that they would really come down on them for anything. But again, maybe things have changed since I've been there. Something in that response just to me didn't line up with my experience. So some of the pieces of the conversation, at least with other people that I saw that you might have of interest, is he did confirm that we're not going to get anything tomorrow. So somebody asked, hey, did what JoJo said, which is a lead QA, about there not being an update tomorrow, is that true? He responded, JoJo never lies, implying that yes, there will not be an update tomorrow. He is hoping that the love and attention that the devs are putting to the game kind of offers them a little bit of an allowance with this content blackout and lack of communication, saying something to the effect of, well, we would hope that with what we are able to produce, that this would make these content droughts a little bit more bearable. Well, I'll leave it, to each of you to answer that yourself. Now, I don't want to end this on a negative note. There is a couple things he said that I think you will be keenly interested in. One of them was when someone asked, are we ever going to see the Killzone items again for offer? The response was one day, so, not a no. And somebody else said, hey, are we ever going to get more bladed weapons? And that does seem to be a certainty. So take that for what it is. All right, Helldivers. Well, that's all I have for now. Stay tuned as I try to get some more information about what is going to come during the Second Galactic War. Happy diving, y'all.